Oh, num num num. Num 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 num. All right, I'm making a video.
Oh.
All right. Num 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 num. Num 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 num. Hey, so the reason I wanted to make this video was because there were some questions about COVID, 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 sorry, dyslexia. COVID-19 and the comparison to flu. So I looked up some statistics, and I'm just going to talk about those statistics real quick. If we look at standard flus and we talk about, like, for instance, the flu, there was a flu in 2014, 2015. So that particular season, there were 30 million infected, and there were about between 44 and 64,000 deaths. So 30 million. So if you do the math on that, I'll just go ahead and flip my camera here. See if I can flip my camera. Can I? Can I flip my camera? Oh, you can't flip your camera on when you're... Man, what's the point of that? All right, so the numbers are for the 2014-15. Again, 30 million, 44 to 64,000 deaths. That ends up being per thousand, so your chances of dying from the flu per thousand when infected are 1.4 per thousand to 2.1 per thousand. That was on the 2014-15. So again, 1.4 to 2.1 persons per thousand died from the flu in 2014-15. I've said that how many times now? Okay, in 2018 and 19, there was another particularly bad flu, and that was 45 million people got the flu, and there were 95,000 dead from that flu worldwide. And those numbers come out to be about 2.1 per thousand, that gives you an idea there. So 2.1 persons per thousand dead. Talking about COVID-19, okay, in the U.S., and this is the stats as of I think it was day before yesterday, 15,219 confirmed cases, okay, and there are 201 deaths. Or what that comes out to is about 1.32% chances of death. Now, if we look at that in per thousand people, that's 13.2 thousand, or 13.2 persons die per thousand. So if you, again, compare, we're talking about 1.4 to 2.1 in the 2014 persons die per thousand. In 2018-19, we're talking about 2.1 persons per thousand. And then the current cases in the U.S., 13.2 persons per thousand are dying from COVID-19. Now, if we look at worldwide, this is interesting, the stats between worldwide versus the U.S. cases. COVID-19 confirmed cases, 318,636, and 13,674 dead. That ends up being about mortality rate of confirmed cases about 4.29%, or 42 persons per thousand are dying from COVID-19 worldwide. Now, I think that number is significantly higher, and I'll talk about COVID-19 worldwide versus COVID-19 in the U.S. 13.2 persons per thousand in the U.S. dying from COVID-19 versus worldwide of 42. U.S. has a pretty good medical system. I think that's probably one reason. And the other is that China and the other countries got COVID-19 and didn't know how to respond to it, or were delayed in their response. So that's why I think the death rate was showing at 42 per thousand. Again, these are all the way I disseminate the numbers, so I'm not a mathematician or what is it? Guy who does statistics?
Analyst?
An analyst? Okay, there we go. So I think, but those are my definitions of the numbers based on what I found online. So everybody says that the response is severe and too intense, and that there's nothing to worry about. Well, it kind of is if you really think about it, because again, like I've gotten the flu in bad years. I got the flu in 2018, 19. That was a bad flu. I think I got it actually I might have got that in 17. And that was a bad flu. And I mean, it gave me pneumonia. I was really sick. I did have flu this year. I don't know if it was COVID-19, but I was sick for about 2 weeks, and I had about 102, 103 fever for 2 of those days. So it's, again, if you compare 2.1 persons per thousand compared to 42 persons per thousand for average death rate, that's a significant jump in death rates. So, this whole thing of isolating and everybody's, concerned and talking that this is really an overreaction. I thought that for a second, looking at, death rates for flus, but when you start crunching the numbers, wow, it's pretty significant. So anyway, hey, be safe and be healthy.